Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm deeply honored to be given with this opportunity to share with you some of my experience on making AI products. And I think I will probably talk more about the bright side of AI. And as you might have already known, it's like Dorabot is a tech company that develops AI and robotic solutions for logistics and supply chain management. So in short, we use robots to free people from performing tedious routine tasks in logistic scenarios, and we use AI to make better decisions. So before starting this talk, I will wait. Okay, so a short bio about me. And from my opinions, like the progress of AI development can be viewed as the progress of solving increasingly challenging puzzles. So as AI research is advancing, the benchmark problems are becoming more and more challenging too. So from the early 1950s, we start from solving chess, and then we solving Go. And recently, we can already tackle some scientific discovery problem, like we have an AlphaFold, right? So my research topic is more about physical reasoning, which is like you applying reasoning techniques to inform and predict physical system behaviors. So most of the work I did during my PhD was about solving this and other interesting puzzles in simulation environment. So like how to develop an AI that can play Angry Birds game well. And after I finished my PhD, I moved one step further towards the real world problem solving. So as you can see from the mid figure, where I started to solve some puzzles in the real world environments, like develop an AI program that can play mini golf well. And in the end, I feel like it was still not exciting enough. So I moved to industry and start to take some real world challenges and to start to solve some problems in the real world scenarios, like in logistics, like how to develop an AI that can place boxes and stack boxes well. So as all you can see here is like this journey is just from the theory to practice. However, they are all about solving different puzzles and they are already this kind of innovation. And in the end, from my point of view, is that AI is just about solving more and more challenging problems in the real world. And I believe that AI will have a lot of positive impacts on our real world. So if we think about logistics and we think about it from a point of view of supply chain management, so what would be the benefits of AI and the robotic solutions that can bring to us and how the solutions that look like? So I think we can start from watching this video first. It shows a comparison between human workers, how human workers perform tasks, and how AI and robots perform tasks. So you can clearly see the difference and some similarity between these two different scenarios. And that can, I think that can already illustrate some concept and the solutions we developed for making the world better. So usually it's like in these operational scenarios, people will like in a warehousing scenarios, people will like to we call it palletizing, like put boxes on on these pallets or store these envelopes and some packages into different you see here slots. And also we use some sometimes we use a conveyor belt to transport the items from somewhere to another within a warehouse. And so until recently, we have AGVs and AMRs to do our this and other jobs. And for all these solutions you see here, it can already show some hints of benefits of AI. So for example, if we talk about robots or AI agents, they will never get tired, right? They can work like 7 plus 24 hours. And the second thing is like they are fully complying with rules. And not like human workers, where as a human, I think everyone is very flexible, right? If we are given with some tasks, we can always try different solutions, our own solutions to make it right. But sometimes it is since that we are too flexible, sometimes we will make mistakes or we are likely to make some errors when the task is becoming complex. But for AI and for robotic solution, no, they are all complying with the rules, 100% complying with the rules. And the third thing is like they are for the AI and the robots, they are always goal-oriented. They will never feel boring, and they never feel the tasks are tedious, or they will not feel okay. They will not become depressed if they always perform repetitive routine tasks every day, right? So for AI, the robotics, they are always stay motivated about the task we human give to them. And so here from this slide, you can see all the different solutions we have, and it's not an exhaustive list, but it already shows. You see here, it's like we have arms, we have AGVs, now we call it AMRs. But basically, it's like all the solutions we develop, they are all about solving the tasks of placing box, picking up box from the right places, and moving them around within the warehouse, transporting them to the right destinations. So all the solutions we deliver are about solving these tasks with from intelligent, using intelligent solutions. But the things like all you see here is kind of hardware, right? So they are just arms, and you can view this AGV or AMR as just vehicles. We really need behind that is like we need the AI planning and the perception module behind that. So just like how human like live in the environment, how human interact with our physical world, right? So the robots need the same capability. They need the capability of perceive the world. So that's what we call perception. And we have computer vision techniques to solve that. So from using this perception module, the robot can perceive the world. They can say what the objects are there and what will be obstacles there and what could be a scenario or structure of the scenarios within the environment. And also we need the planning, right? So to do some job well, you need to do some planning techniques. And in
Welcome back, Dr. Gary.
Oh yeah, sorry, my internet just dropped off, but I tried to reconnect it and let me just start from I dropped off. And so yeah, I just mentioned it's like we need a perception and also we need a planning because we want to do some jobs well, right? And we need some planning for that. And in AI, we call it AI planning. And in the operations research, sometimes we call it optimization, but they are all doing the same things like giving input. We try to compute for optimal plans for that. And also we need, the agent needs to learn something and they should learn from the past, they should learn the experience from the solving the tasks in the past, and they have to generate something, generate knowledge from solving all these tasks day by day, right? And also, most of the important things like they need to make sure that, especially for the robots, when they start to interact with the environment, the physical world, they have to make sure that the decisions or actions they are making will be safe for the humans around these robots. Yeah, so that's why the AI really plays a very important role behind all these robotic solutions and the automated solutions. So so for this slide, from here, I want more focus on like the benefits of AI and also especially in this supply chain management scenarios. And that's why in the beginning of the talk, I say like I will talk more about the bright side of the AI. So currently it's like the AI or the supply chain area is facing a lot of challenges. And regarding the bright side of AI, I think AI did help us to solve a lot of long-standing problems in the industry. For example, in the logistics or supply chain management, we have this kind of 4 different challenges. The first one is the labor shortage due to the aging society. So that's why we can use robots to do more jobs. And also it will resolve this issue if we deploy all these robots that that can automatically perform this task well. And also for the rule compliance, as I mentioned before, it's like AI and the robots will always do the things according to our instructions and guidance. So if the instructions and guidance are right, they will not make any mistakes. And also for using AI solutions, it will help us to make sure that our decisions are optimal, especially in this supply chain management, when the information, when there are a lot of information happening, and also it usually contains a huge network of nonlinear components interacting with each other. So in order to make some optimal solutions, we need to use a human need to do a computation, but a human has a limited memory, uh, and also we are not able to handle all it's a lot of information. That's why we need AI and we need algorithm to compute some optimal solutions fast. And also since given that AI and robots are kind of following our well-structured guidance and the instructions, it will help us to bring in the standardization for all this industry. Yeah, and now I give a short example about how could we achieve or how could we undertake a challenge by using AI solutions. So here is like here from the upper left figure, what you see here is a container, and there are a lot of cargoes loaded within a container. And in AI community or in operations community, research community, we call it 3D bin packing problem. And then they are super hard. We usually call it strongly NP hard, means that it's technically infeasible, computationally infeasible to find out optimal solutions in this scenario. And so at the Dorabot, we developed a solution we call AI COP. So COP stands for container loading planner, right? And we use this algorithm to do some calculations to plan for optimal structure. How could we stuff the boxes well, and how could we load more and more how could we load more boxes than humans? So for the bottom figure, you see is a comparison between the AI solutions and the manual solutions. So we run a very competitive competition between the human planners and AI, and each of its dot indicates the cubic meters we stuffed into a container. And from the beginning, it's like you see the competition is quite competitive, right? The blue curve indicates the performance of AI, while yellow for human. And in the very beginning, we are kind of you win this time, we win next time. But the AI is kind of they are learning from solving the problems. They are also learning from the humans' results. And in the end, we outperform the humans' performance and achieve a constant better loading results than humans. So I think that's one particular example can show that the AI can did a good job and can improve the operation efficiency compared to human results. Yeah. Okay. I think for the last slide, I just want to share some of my opinions about the dark side of AI. From my own point of view, it's like I wouldn't say it would be a dark side of AI. I think AI in the I think AI in the very end, they are just techniques. They are just tools that we use to solve real world problems. So it's not the wrong. So when we say the dark side of AI, it's not AI is wrong, but it should be the developers or the one create the AI algorithms make some mistakes. And so I try to summarize 3 bullet points regarding this so-called dark side of AI. So especially from my point of view, it's like when AI is entering into an environment, when AI start to interacting with the environment like robots, then the AI should be aware of the consequences of actions. That's because for all its agents, for all its algorithms, they have a goal. They try to maximize some utility or try to maximize some benefits of, or try to achieve this single goal with sometimes they will not care about the things surrounding this goal. And especially if humans are present in the environment, if the AI doesn't make a quick decision for this particular action, it may harm human. So one most important thing is like whenever we are developing some AI techniques, we want to make sure that the AI or the brand of the robot should be aware of the consequences of actions. And the second thing is about explainability. So especially we are living in this physical world. Our physical world is complex, actually, especially if you view from high level, like if we talk about supply chain management, shipping something from Europe to China and transport them to this place, to the other place, while passing through different warehouse and different logistics operations. If we are facing with this big complex system and suddenly AI jumps out to tell you to make some decisions, and how could you be comfortable with this decision proposed by AI, right? As a human, we usually want to control things well, and we usually want some explanation of how this decision is arrived. Otherwise, we will maybe remain suspectful to this decision, whether the decision will cause some harmful things and so on. So that's why I think AI should be able to explain how its decision is is informed or determined by the AI itself. Try to explain to human. And the third thing is like whenever we think about AI making a decisions, where AI try to guide us to do something, and there could be two different executors of this planning. And if we connect AI algorithms or AI planning modules to robots, so we need to make sure that the robots obey our plan, and we have to make sure that the plan will not harm the environment, as I just mentioned. But if we try to make some decisions and plans and ask the human workers to carry plan out, then we have to make sure that the plan should be human worker friendly. So what does it mean by human worker friendly? Let's come back to the content loading problem, that scenario. So our algorithm can generate a plan of very high spatial utilization, means that you can put everything into a container without wasting minimal any part of space. But that plan might be not human worker friendly, means that if we give it a plan to a human, the human have to do all its job within a required time interval, and maybe they will not feel comfortable. And also, I'm not sure whether you have experience with coding delivery service, right? So always a delivery guy, they all be assigned with a task, automatically assigned sometimes with by the algorithm, right? Ask them to deliver something to somewhere within a short time. Always task has been automated, should be automatically computed by some algorithms. So if we do not care about the human worker friendly plans, then all these decisions will try to exploit the human work's time, which is not that good. So whenever we try to write some algorithm to generate some plans, and this plan, if we know that will be carried out by human, I think we should care more about how human carry out this plan and whether it will be comfortable plan for the human workers. I think, yeah. So that's just all I would like to share during the session, and I hope this would provide some useful information to the next panel session. And thank you very much.